and I was kind of a ready-made family. So he wanted more than I wanted to give.
So there comes to one night when he calls to come over, right?
Yeah, he had called because he said he wanted to get away from work because he did apartment maintenance and he lived right there on the site. So he wanted to get away from work and talk about his problems, and I was having some problems at the time with the guy that I was dating. So I was like, okay, you can come over, maybe we can work something, something out between us. Maybe you can help your problems and I can help, my problems. And I told him then, I said, don't expect anything when you get here because I don't want anything. And I made him, tell me that he understood that.
And to ensure that.
Right, I told him like 5 times on the phone,
Then when he comes there, what do you do with your child?
My child is with me. I kept my youngest daughter with me all the time. She even slept with me in the bed. Thinking, well, he won't do anything because my child is right next to me on the bed. And like I said, I've been having some problems, so I had problems sleeping. So I took a sleeping pill and I told him that's what I was doing. And I went and we talked for a little bit, and I said, okay, it's starting to work now. So
then you dozed off.
Right.
And the next thing you know, what?
I wake up in the morning and he's gone. And I vaguely remember opening my eyes, seeing him, walk out, but I was still the pill was still working, so I went back to sleep. And I got up and I was thinking, it's something, he did something he shouldn't have.
How did you know that?
I had a feeling, but at the time I was like, no, I trust him, he wouldn't do that. And when I stood up and walked out to the kitchen, I knew. I knew he had done that. I called my ex-sister-in-law at the time, and I was upset, and I said, I think I was raped. And I didn't want to believe it, so I didn't call him or anything. And he called me 2 or 3 days later, and I was really mad at him for doing that.
Did he admit it?
I can't remember what he said, but he brought it up. And, I just told him, I said, I don't appreciate that.
Well, it's very easy.
That was right.
And you consider that rape.
Right.
He might consider that consensual, but you consider that rape.
Right.
And he's never been charged with it, by the way. You never charged him, you never...
No, I told him that I didn't want to talk to him anymore. He said that he thought I consented to it. And I said, I told you on the phone. I told you when you hit my front door before you ever came in my house that I didn't want to. And he kept calling after that. I had caller ID, so I never talked to him again. I never saw him again after that. And I found out I was pregnant right after Ina's body was found. So I kept hoping.
How long after the incident did you find out about the fact that A, you were pregnant, and B, the body was found?
I found out I was pregnant in, I believe, September, because I was working. I found out in September, and I believe the body was found maybe a couple weeks before that.
And this is like, what, a month or so after the incident?
I believe so, yeah.
And what do you think?
I'm reading the paper like you normally would, and I ran across an article, and I just caught my eye, just started reading it, and I had to read it 3 times just to make myself believe that was the same person, because I didn't believe it. So I kept reading it, and I just, I started shaking, and I put the paper down.
He stabbed her several times?
He stabbed her 11 times in the neck.
And he carried around in his trunk of his car?
The first 3 months after he killed her, she was in a sleeping bag behind his couch in his apartment.
And how long had it been since you had seen him?
When this happened, it had been several months.
So you think shortly after he saw you, that's when this happened?
I think so, yeah. He kept her body for a total of 4 months before they found it.
And you decided not to have an abortion, not to put the child up for adoption?
Right. I couldn't, I knew in my heart that it wasn't my daughter's fault, so I couldn't have an abortion. And I went to an adoption counselor, a couple times, and I had 2 other kids. And to me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I decided that I would keep the baby And I hoped and prayed every day that it was the other guys that I was dating at the time. And I went through it. I put the father on the birth certificate is unknown. And
but he knows, doesn't he?
He knows now, yes.
When is he going to get out of jail?
He got a 16-year sentence. In our state, he will be
So he's going to be in her life.
Right. He will
while she's underage.
Right. He will probably be out of prison anywhere between 5 and 8 years.
He's going to be back in his daughter's life. What do you think of that?
It's scary because I don't want him around. I'm afraid, if he does this because he got into a simple argument with his roommate, he may do it with my daughter, he may do it with me,
When we come back, we're going to meet a young woman who responded to an ad, babysitter wanted. Sounds innocent enough, right? So why is this woman about to go to court just because she had to change diapers? We're going to find out about this very bizarre story next.
Caught on tape, amazing scenes from blazing infernos. Survivors and firefighters tell their terrifying tale. And once they were ugly ducklings, now they're super celebs. Watch Inside Edition.
Today at 5.
On the next American Journal, watch what happens when we send a 112-pound woman looking for a prescription for diet drugs. Plus, the tragic death of a National Lampoon Vacation movie star. Next, AJ.
Today at 5:30 on KYW3.
If you've been seriously injured in any kind of accident, the law limits the time you have to file your claim. Time may be running out. You need a lawyer who will work quickly to get you money for your injuries. Call the Injury Helpline now and speak to a lawyer near you for free. One who works hard to get what you deserve and who gets paid only when you collect money. The insurance companies have lawyers working hard on their side, and so should you. Call 1-800-548-6001.
Technology, that 4-syllable word that's making things possible that we never dreamed of before. Faster, cheaper, but not always better. Better comes from those who study at the Art Institute, where creativity, technology, and technique are merged with master instruction to prepare tomorrow's visionaries. You can be one of them by calling the School of Media Arts at the Art Institute. 1-800-333-9600. 1-800-333-9600.
I got rid of my gray hair in just 5 minutes, and I love the natural highlights and shine.
Introducing revolutionary new Just 5, the only 5-minute hair color for women that gently blends away gray in 5 minutes without changing your natural color, while extra conditioners leave hair soft and shiny.
Beautiful hair in just 5 minutes.
New Just 5, the only 5-minute hair color for women.
I can't believe it. I've been using the same bank for 10 years, and now they've turned me down for a loan over 2 late mortgage payments in 1994?
In real life, very few of us have perfect credit. That's why so many people turn to Upland for real solutions, like smart home equity loans that consolidate your bills into one monthly payment and can save you hundreds of dollars every month. And the interest may be tax deductible. Call 1-800-UPLAND-1. Upland Mortgage. Real solutions for real life.
A woman goes to the morgue to identify her own husband, then discovers he's still alive.
I signed that death certificate.
You identified your husband?
Incredible but true stories on the next Maury. Babysitter wanted, mature people only, Monday and Tuesday only. Responsibilities vary from feeding to diaper changing. Contact Troy.
Now, I know as this program is airing, there are thousands of people right now in their kitchens, in their dining rooms, on their living room tables. They got the paper out, and we're circling, innocently enough, ads, including, for jobs, or placing an ad to find work. What if that seemingly harmless search through the papers turns your world upside down? The ad asked for a babysitter.
But the job wasn't to sit for a baby. It was to sit for a 21-year-old mentally impaired man. Candy Edsall answered the ad and talked to a man named Troy Mackey. He told her that his brother's problem was a delicate situation. Candy took the job, but she says when the man needed his diaper changed for the 4th time, she became suspicious, so she called the police.
It's quite clear to us that he was doing it strictly for purposes of sexual gratification. He needed no assistance.
There never was a brother. There was only Troy. And police say there's enough good evidence to find him guilty of criminal sexual conduct.
Am I hearing this right?
Yes, you are.
Candy?
Maury. Yep.
Now let's get this straight, Candy. Let's take us through this very slowly so we can all understand what the heck you ended up going through.
You
answered this ad.
Yep.
What did the ad say?
It said Tuesdays only, babysitter needed. From 8 to 5, Tuesdays only.
Pretty innocent ad, isn't it?
Yep.
You call up, and then what do you find out?
He just asked for my name, and I just said my name, Candy, and he just told me that he had a brother, the same name, that he needed, he was mentally handicapped, and he needed help, and he needed help changing his diapers. And I said, okay, and...
He was an adult, but he was handicapped, and he had to wear diapers, and he needed somebody to change them.
Right. And
because he couldn't be there because he was working? Is that what the brother said?
Right, he said that he had to go to work and that he was going to let his brother walk down. And I was like, you're going to let your brother walk down, when he's mental handicapped, And he's like, yep. He told me he was going to walk down and everything. And he walked down and he had a bag full
of
cars, little kids' cars and trucks, and diapers, little diapers, and baby wipes.
When you say little diapers, you're trying to, I have a 20-month-old. You're talking about little diapers?
Yes, little diapers.
Open that diaper up. Let me see that diaper.
Yep.
That's a little diaper.
Yeah. And he just...
Did he look handicapped?
He looked slow. He looked, he didn't look, but he looked slow. He talked slow. And I know he sat at my house and watched Perry Mason.
Did he say anything?
No, not really. He didn't.
You changed his diapers?
Yes.
How many times?
4 times. And my mom and dad were there for 2 hours.
Did you feel awkward?
Yes, I did, but I didn't.
First of all, how about that diaper?
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
Yeah.
How did you get it around him?
I put masking tape on the sides. So.
How long was he there?
He was there for about 8 hours. And he just sat and watched TV most of the time, and he had, bag full of cars and trucks and stuff, but he didn't play with them or nothing. I fed him lunch. He ate a sandwich and some cake because my son's birthday was a few days before I watched him.
This is some Looney Tune.
Yes.
And what happens?
Then me and my girlfriend had to go to work, so we watched him, to the end of the day around 4 o'clock. And I took him home. Me and my girlfriend took him. We had to go to work, and he only lived right down the road. Took him home and dropped him off. And then the next day, he called me. I have a caller ID, so he let the phone ring and ring and ring. And finally I answered it, and because it was only supposed to be for Tuesdays only. And he asked me if I could watch him again, or if I had anybody else, a friend or somebody else to watch him. So I said, okay, me and my son have doctor's appointments. I guess I can watch you today,
Was the money good, by the way?
No, not really.
How much was it?
20.
$20 for the day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know.
Called?
He called and...
And you said no, you couldn't do it, but a friend of yours might?
My sister could. And he said, all right, I'll have my brother be at your house around noon. That's okay, because I had a doctor's appointment, me and my son, at 10:45. And we went to doctor's office. Right when we were getting ready to go to the doctor's office, my mom and dad were there to pick me up, and because my car wasn't working at the time, and he drove. The normal guy drove up, and it turned out to be, it was the same person. It was the same.
Now let's get this straight, Candy. When you saw him, what did you say?
Me and my mother thought it was the mental handicap guy, but he says, no, I'm the other one. And I just stood there. You know, I was kind of, you know, freaked out, but I mean, you know, I just played it off. All right, you know, I was in a hurry. We were already running late for my doctor's appointment. I was in a hurry. So we, all of a sudden, he come in. He was real slow. I mean, you could tell he was nervous. But I played it off, you know, whatever. I was in a hurry, and I
Is
noticed.
your sister right here?
Yes.
Teresa, stand up here. Okay. Did you see this guy?
Yeah.
Did you know what your sister had been going through the day before?
Yeah. She called me and asked me if I could babysit him the next day, and I just figured, yeah, you know, I have some mentally handicapped cousins. I could babysit them.
Right.
I've babysat them before, and I just figured I could babysit them.
And what happens when she tells you the story?
Well, I took her to the police department, and we made a report, and they followed us back. The police followed us back to the trailer.
And in fact, Troy was arrested.
Yes.
Except Troy hasn't been.
No, I'm still waiting.
He hasn't gone to court yet.
No.
And he lives down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him?
Yeah. Now and then, yeah, I do. And he's married, so.
And he's married?
Yes, he is. He's married.
Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened when his wife found out.
The officer came to, well, we went down to the police station, and Troy was at my doorstep. So the police officer went up to him and started talking to him, and me and my sister went in the house, my trailer. And the police officer started talking to him, and then he put him in the police car and went down to his trailer. And then his wife came home from work because she knew something was up. And his wife asked if he was schizophrenic, if he, you know, what was wrong with him. But to this day.
Of course, his wife now has moved out, right?
Right. No, she's sticking by him.
She's sticking by him?
She is sticking by him. She's right with him.
She believes your story, doesn't she?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to her.
Would you answer any more ads like that again?
No.
I didn't think so. When we come back, a real-life single white female story. We're going to speak with a woman who regrets the day she answered an ad looking for a roommate. She still has nightmares after the roommate she found through the classifieds attacked her. After this.
Closed captioning provided by
Turtle Wax Super Hard Shell. With its easy on, easy off formula, clean, shines, and protects so well, it's America's favorite. Get Turtle Wax for a super hard shell finish.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Hey, Shakespeare, would you write a TV sitcom for a Klondike bar?
Methinks not.
For that chocolatey coated ice cream loaded big and thick, no room for stick.
Enter precocious punk.
What you talking about, Willie? What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Wherefore art thou new Klondike Choc Burger? Vanilla ice cream, a chocolate cookie, peanuts, and caramel. Get
Babies are coming whether you're ready or not.
No one can move fast enough.
Your stress level goes sky high.
And the
You get
adrenaline
flushed.
rush. Whole body's into it.
We asked some of the hottest women in medicine to switch antiperspirants and try Degree.
Body heat activated. Sounds impressive.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
I definitely felt more confident.
The more you need it, the more it works. I love it. It's working great.
Body heat activated Degree for an extra degree of protection.
First time I ever walked out of delivery room dry.
If you dread Monday, here are 4 great reasons to change your mind. Bam! Cosby, Raymond, Sybil, Murphy. Spend your Monday night with the biggest stars in comedy. And think of it as an extended weekend.
Your father has finally done it.
What's that? Buckle his pants?
CBS Superstar Monday.
There's a naked lady back there and you drawing fruit? How old do I have to be before I get that disease?
Every show's a hit every Monday night on CBS.
The Caribbean vacation on the left will run you about $7,000.
The swimming pool on the right will cost you as little as $400 at Namco. Namco has the largest selection of swimming pools and patio furniture at the guaranteed lowest prices. Plus, everything you need for your pool. So why not get a Namco pool? The vacation on the left will be over in a week. The Namco pool on the right will be fun all summer long. Visit a Namco pool and patio store near you today.
This is hot. At our 4th of July sale, you'll find the best savings on summer's hottest items. Save up to $60 on our entire stock of ladies swimwear. A 20-inch box fan by Lasco is just $12.99. And save up to $30 on ladies' Keds canvas casuals. Plus, Friday, July 4th, we're opening our doors at 8 a.m. so you can start saving sooner. Find amazing specials in every department. Value City Department Store's 4th of July sale. It's smoking.
Roommate wanted. Down-to-earth, responsible, college-aged female seeks roommate. We're going to get to that story in a second because that's the classic single white female story that we've already seen in the movies. But it does happen. But first...
Hi, I want to know, what are you going to tell your daughter about her father when she grows up? Are you going to tell her what he's really about?
I will tell her who he is, but until she's old enough to understand, I don't think I'll tell her what he did.
Yeah, stand up.
You say you spoke to him for 2 months, right?
Yep.
And you told him 5 times that you don't want to do nothing.
Right.
Eventually, he had to be asking for it. So
well, wait a second.
When you came over.
Well, wait a second. She's not asking for it.
He was. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, he was.
You told him no. And when he came over, you took a sleeping pill? Come on, boo. You know that's a no-no. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. They had known each other for several months.
He had been
I
over
guess
to
you
my
had established a feeling of trust.
He had been over to my house several times. This was not the first time he spent the night at my house.
Right.
He had been there several times.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you allowed him to sleep over in the first place.
Yeah.
I am the type of person that if my friend has a problem, I help them out. And he was living at the place where he was working, so he said he needed to get away.
I mean, at that point...
And I had trusted him, this whole time. And
at that point, you had just been friends.
Right.
Single white female looking for a roommate. Single black female looking for a roommate. Single brown female looking for a roommate. It happens all the time. Happened to Melissa. She was moving to Florida. She was ready to go to school. She needed a roommate. So she picked up a local paper and started combing the real estate section. You found a roommate pretty quick, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I was still in Ohio. I had come down to visit the school, and on my way home picked up a paper. Thought that would be the easiest way to find a roommate, somebody that lived there already. And she lived really close to the school. We got along great. And so I talked to her for about a month before I moved down, and I moved in. My sister helped me move down. She thought she was nice. Her place was clean, and she seemed pretty normal. And I lived there for about 3 weeks until
And what happened?
Well.
Did it happen immediately, or was it 3 weeks after you moved in?
Well, what I saw from the beginning was she had made comments about her boyfriend, like she was cheating on him, he had cheated on her. She just wanted to make it clear she didn't want me to be.
It wasn't a stable
No, not at all. So she was really nervous about, me wanting to be with him. And I was like, of course not, from the beginning. Then it started, like, we started
She thought you might be wanting to steal her boyfriend?
Right.
Had you ever met the boyfriend?
Yeah, like the first night I got there, she's like, oh, let's go meet him. And she took my sister and I to the bar. And, when we got home, she was like, well, what'd you think? I was like, oh, he was nice. And then she turned to my sister and was like, I hope she didn't think he was too nice. And my sister's like, of course not, like, that's the only thing we fought about. And then it started getting worse. Like, she would set me up for it. She had pictures of him up, and she would be like, doesn't he have a nice body? Look at his chest. And I'd be like, yeah, he's cute, whatever. And then she'd be like, if she would freak out, be like, what do you mean he's cute? Why do you want him? And, like, turn on me. Like, and I was just being nice. I didn't think he was cute at all. I was not attracted to him, but just, I don't want to be like, no, he's ugly, So,
I know you're trying to gingerly walk a line there, not be too interested. but also don't diss the boyfriend.
Right. And then one night, she just came home from work. She was really crazy. Said, you know, I know that you're sleeping with him, and just flat out accused me. And we fought about it all night. And, you know, I was just like, I don't need this, you know, enough. I'm moving out. The next morning, the police were knocking on my bedroom door. She said she could hear us in there having sex. You know, they searched
and then
the room.
all of a sudden, all these lies start, right?
Well, it wasn't lies. It was, she really believed it. She was crying hysterically, like flipping out. She really believed it.
Okay. Pause, because there is a climax to this story that you won't believe, and we'll hear it when we come back after this. Did something awful happen when you placed a one ad or a personal, or did something terrible happen when you answered an ad? Call us at 1-800-593-2000. That's 1-800-593-2000.
Come in today and try one of Friendly's chicken entrees, like our delicious new chicken wrappers, sandwiches, or salads, and I'll make you a reduced fat sundae for only 79 cents. Half the fat, but all the great taste you come to Friendly's for. Not bad. Friendly's. Leave room for the ice cream.
Being in commercials is a lot of fun.
Yes, I do TV commercials, and who says you have to be young to be a star?
It's true. The demand for new faces has never been greater, and now getting started has never been easier. To arrange for a screen test for yourself or your child, call us now, because you never know, a show business career might just be waiting for you.
Screen Test USA!
The smart way to break into show business.
It's all here with cable TV. It's local news, sports, reliable service, and the commercial-free excitement of the premium channels. 2 channels of HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, and the Movie Channel. Call now and have it all with this great offer. Installations just $5, plus get 2 premium services for the price of 1 for 3 months. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now. Call now for the premium channels and cable TV. It's all here.
If your impression of an older person is somebody who's just kind of doddering around killing time and waiting for time to pass, I think you're really off base. Older people typically don't have enough time to do what they want to get done. My job involves informing people about the options that they have under the U.S. Healthcare Gold and Medicare plan. A good healthcare plan has a tremendous impact on how well you feel, because a good healthcare plan will take care of routine medicine. It'll take care of you before you become sick. I think I've heard just about every concern that people have about Medicare, and I can assure you our plan answers those concerns. We offer benefits to people that's going to make their life as worry-free as possible without having to worry about paperwork, without having to worry about deductibles. I do my job because I think what I do absolutely makes a difference in people's lives.
The U.S. Healthcare Gold and Medicare Plan. Another reason why you'll feel better with us.
These stories may sound like science fiction, but they're very real. A woman goes to the morgue to identify her own husband, then discovers he's still alive.
I signed that death certificate.
You identified your husband? Meet the only living person to be hit by debris from outer space, and hear how this teen cheated death after being struck by a heart-stopping bolt of lightning.
Came out of my shoe right here.
So it went all through your body? They're incredible but true stories on the next Maury.
So as you pick up this story, this roommate calls the police because she thinks,
She thought, well, twice she called the police, told them that I was in my room with him.
The boyfriend.
Right. Like, she really, in her mind, heard it happening and whatever. I was, you know, just in there trying to get some sleep. She wouldn't let me sleep all night. She would, you know, bang on my door all night, and, you know, she was really crazy.
So, and then?
And then Sunday night, she came after me with a knife. I was in a t-shirt and underwear. I took off out the door, ran until I found the police. They came back with me. I had had enough.
You ran out the door?
Yeah.
You ran out the door?
Yeah, fight or flight, you know, I flew.
Call the cops?
Yeah, well, no, I ran until I found a cop car, and it had been...
You ran till you found a cop car?
I had so much adrenaline, like, I just couldn't stop running. I was so scared.
How far did you have to run?
I don't even remember. Not very far, no. And the police that I had found had already been called many times to our place, so they knew what was going on. They were like, look, we're not coming back unless you say you're getting out. And I'm like, yes, I'm leaving. So they came back with me. I got some clothes, called my parents, told them, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to a hotel. So I left. Later, another set of police officers came with her parents, and they took her away. She told them, they were like, well, where's your roommate? She told them that she had killed me.
She had killed you?
Yeah. And they called my parents, and they called her boyfriend.
Wait a second. Then the cops called the parents?
Yes, they called my parents at 6 o'clock in the morning.
To tell them that their daughter was dead?
Mm-hmm. They couldn't find me. Did they know where I was? And they said the same thing.
How'd your parents respond?
Well, since I had called them and said I'm going to a hotel, they still had, hope that I was all right, but they didn't know maybe she had gotten to me or came and found me, who knows.
Did you ever go back? Did you ever confront this woman again?
No.
Where is she now?
I don't know. She never tried to find me, or what had happened was she was overdosing on some medication, so hopefully as long as she doesn't do that again, she'll be fine, and I know she got psychiatric
Do you have a
help.
roommate now?
Yes.
Where'd you find that roommate?
They're a roommate referral service, where they screen them.
Not through the one ads?
No.
Okay. When we come back, we decided to answer an ad that we saw in the classifieds, and we're going to find out what happened after this.
Jenny, I finally took your advice. You called a psychic? Yes, and it was amazing. She knew everything about me. It gave me the chills.
I tried it too. My psychic was so specific. She told me about some property I was inheriting right when it happened.
I called just because I got 10 minutes free, and she knew all about my job and how I could get a raise. It was great.
It really is incredible. Nobody else ever gives advice this good.
It's true. My psychic told me when I would meet a guy and described him exactly. And 2 weeks later, I met Michael.
Do you remember when I won over $600 in the lottery? That was totally thanks to my psychic.
This is unbelievable. Am I like the only one that hasn't called?
Probably. Now that it's 10 minutes free, I think everyone's trying it.
Call for your free 10 minutes. Find out for yourself what everyone is talking about. Call Psychic Readers Network now and experience your psychic connection. You get 10 minutes free. Why wait? Call for your free 10 minutes.
Call 1-800-532-3065.
It's Travolta's dramatic new movie.
I just want to go home, okay?
The set was closed, and the movie won't make it to theaters for months, but we've got a sneak peek you won't see anywhere else on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7 on KYW3.
Stone massages, seaweed wraps, and pole jumping? It's the desert spa that beats stress by making you face your fears. It's the Health Club High on hard copy.
Tonight at 7:30 on KYW3.
If only Bacardi mixers could make blenders work backwards. We could show you how much luscious real fruit taste goes into these frosty drinks. Then the huge fruit taste that comes out of our strawberry daiquiris and pina coladas would seem only natural. Look for Bacardi mixers in the frozen fruit juice section. Bacardi mixers. The taste is huge. Find the ship, win the trip. Look under the lid for your chance to instantly win a Windjammer Barefoot Cruise for 2.
Hello, over here. No, down here, down here. Here, down here. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, there you go. What you just saw is but a small part of the experience you're going to have here at Northlands.
Doll Museum, Art Gallery, the American Music Hall, some of the greatest scenery in the world, and the Great American Railway at Northlands. A scenic wonderland on Highway 202, 1 mile north of the Flemington Circle, 908-782-4022.
I don't know if we saw Philander Clark before when we were talking about the pit bull story, but Philander breeds pit bulls here in New York, and This is one of the pit bulls we saw earlier. Now, we answered your ad.
Yeah.
You have an ad out, right?
Yeah.
Listen to this, Jerry. An ad about pit bulls.
Uh-huh.
And we called.
Yeah.
But we asked for somebody else. Who'd we ask for?
Abdul.
Abdul, who's that?
That's my alias.
Your alias?
Yeah, that's my other name.
Is that how you protect yourself somehow in the one ads?
Yeah.
How's that?
Because you don't know what type of people is gonna call you, and then people that you know will call you and be like, well, you my friend, hook me up. This way you just calling me for the pits.
I see.
To find out about the dog.
Is that a good idea? You like that idea, Vicky?
Well, take for instance, when this happened, the kids had to live with my husband and I for 5 months. My grandbabies and my son and daughter-in-law were in counseling.
Right.
And the little ones couldn't even talk, so they had nightmares and in hysterics. Now my son and daughter-in-law are having their home tore down and another one put in because of the nightmares still to this day.
Right, yeah, yes.
I had a similar situation to her. I had just gotten a job and I wanted to move out. I had answered an ad for a roommate wanted and I met her. She seemed real nice. I moved in. I think I lasted maybe a month.
What happened?
She was a nut. She was definitely a nut. I mean, it ended up turning out she was, trying to get my boyfriend, whatever. It ended up we got into a fight. She threw an iron on me. I had to put a lock on my door.
Who left? You or her?
I left. We called the cops. I had cut my phone line because I put the phone line in, and actually she called the cops. And the
You should have had a chair down there. That's a pretty good story. Thank you very much. And you answer any more one ads like that? No, of course not. What did you want to say, Belinda?
Well, I was going to say this is almost what I would classify as a parent's worst nightmare. But at the same time, when Kimberly was going through this, we took the time of, meeting them in a public place, they didn't come
You
to
thought
the home.
you did everything right?
Yeah,
is what
and
you
then
say.
you find out afterwards. But again, this is kind of emotional to me because I just found out in December about the paternity of this gentleman with my granddaughter. And when you look at, in 4 years, he could be out of prison, and also the fact this could have been my daughter the first round, there's a possibility in 4 years it can be my daughter and my granddaughter in 4 years.
Right.
That we can live through this again, and there's no way to cut off parental rights to this person at all. So, we're going to anticipate this now for probably the rest of our life.
We'll be back after this. If you would like to join us in the studio audience, then call or write for free tickets. It's the Maury Povich Show, 221 West 26th Street, New York, New York, 10001. Or call 212-989-3622.
The average funeral today now costs over $4,000. But the most Social Security will pay to your survivors, if they qualify, is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the balance. If you're age 50 to 80, you can protect your loved ones with Montgomery Ward Life's Mature Life Plan. It pays cash expenses at your family's time of need.
It's important to know my wife or kids won't be burdened if anything happens to me.
I feel good knowing that we're protected by Montgomery Ward Life, a company we know we can trust.
With the Mature Life Plan, you enroll by mail, no agent will call, and you cannot be turned down for coverage.
I didn't have to take a physical. I didn't even have to answer any health questions.
It's so easy. Everything can be done by mail.
Call now, and we'll send you a free booklet that explains Social Security and government benefits. We'll also send information about the Mature Life Plan.
It makes so much sense. My husband and I are both covered.
With Montgomery Ward Life, I can be sure the people I love will be taken care of.
Call now to receive your free Mature Life Benefits Kit and Social Security booklet. Find out how easy it is to enroll by mail and protect your loved ones. The information is free, and so is the phone call. Don't put it off. Call the toll-free number on your screen.
It's all here with cable TV. It's local news, sports, reliable service, and the commercial-free excitement of the premium channels. 2 channels of HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, and the Movie Channel. Call now and have it all with this great offer. Installation's just $5, plus get 2 premium services for the price of 1 for 3 months. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now. Call now for the premium channels and cable TV. It's all here.
How far would you go to save a life? What if all it took was a few miles, a few smiles, and your bike? Hi, everybody. I'm Yuki Washington. Grab your helmet. Let's get in gear. It's time for the American Cancer Society's Bike-a-thon. We're going to ride to save lives.
Join KYW3's Yuki Washington for the American Cancer Society's 25th anniversary Bike-a-thon Sunday, July 13th. Call 215-JOIN-ACS.
All set? Let's get rolling. Yo, wait for me.
Before we leave, I want everybody to fess up. Have you either placed or answered a want ad since your experiences?
We have.
You have, Vicki? For
My
what?
son and daughter-in-law are selling their car. I live 30 miles out of town. We have my phone number. I live in the mountains. Their car is parked in a garage. So they call me. I get their name and number. Then my son and daughter-in-law call them, and then they meet at this garage.
Have you sold the car yet?
Not yet.
Okay, fine. Thank you all very much. Maybe you can sell a car now. What kind is it?
84 Eagle.
84 Eagle, okay. I want to thank all of you very much. I know your stories are very personal and they're very sensitive, and I thank you all very much. I'm glad you're here today. Thank you out there, everyone. Until next time, America. Tomorrow, they've cheated death and broken world records. Their incredible stories may sound like science fiction, but they're very real. Tomorrow.
Promotional consideration provided by Inventors. Invention Submission Corporation can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Call 1-800-288-IDEA for free information.
I switched to Polygrip Free because it's free of artificial flavors and colors. And it's strong. It holds well. I eat an apple a day with my Polygrip Free.
Get the new pad from Compound W that powers away warts. Easy to use, just one step. The new pad from Compound W that powers away warts.
When you're waiting to find out if you're pregnant or not, only Clear Blue Easy gives you a clear yes or no in 1 minute.
There's a sea of minivans out there, but one stands above the rest. Ford Windstar, the only minivan to earn the government's 5-star safety rating, higher than Dodge and Chrysler. A 200-horsepower V6 is more powerful, too. And over 40 standard safety features help keep your family safe. Ford Windstar, an island of quality and safety in the sea of life. Now get $1,000 cash back on Windstar or lease it for just $249 a month. Only from your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Got big plans for the future? It's time to get the facts. The facts about high cholesterol. Facts that can help you live longer, stay healthier, and do more of whatever makes you happy. At Merck, we have ways to help cut your risk of a heart attack, even save your life. Talk to your doctor. And for your free high cholesterol survival guide, call 1-800-564-1791. It includes a test that can help you add years to your life. Call 1-800-564-1791. But please, do it now, because there's a lot more to life.
Skycam 3, weekday mornings, only on News 3.